I've always been interested in craft and making things. I think I just like the versatility. There's so many different things you can do with threads and fabric that I wouldn't like to be limited to just one. And I often mix them up, so yeah, it gives me more scope. I'm Carol and I'm a textile-based artist. Well, I dabble in all sorts really. I started off making my own Barbie clothes and knitting little jumpers for them, and then I got into making my own clothes and knitting my own jumpers because actually clothes were a bit more expensive in those days. So it was cheaper to actually make your own. When I think of a project to do, I just think about what's the best way to actually realise it. And it could be anything really. I just enjoy having a go at all sorts. For me, I quite like to convey something, and it's often involves the natural world. So yes, so that there will be. I think there may be more of an element of that in the future because it seems like there's more and more need to actually tell people about the importance of. We're so dependent on humans wouldn't exist if it wasn't for all sorts of other beings, and so it's quite important that we look after the environment really. So my daughter found out about this at the beginning of 2012 when she took part in a permaculture design course. And she visited Feed Bristol to do the course and learned about the site and that there was a plan to develop part of it. But didn't really think it would happen. But in August 2014 the council agreed to the plans to use the land for this proposed Metrobus scheme, despite many key arguments against the plans concerning the natural environment and Bristol's future food security. We started to think, or could we expand the knowledge, get the knowledge out there that this land was really important, was here and really important to protect. So we couldn't save that particular piece of land, we felt, but we felt it would be important to raise awareness to try and protect the rest of it. So I went to various groups and groups I hadn't been to before, various places, and even though maybe people didn't actually volunteer their services, I was able to actually explain what the project was all about. And therefore, considering more people now know about the Bluefinger land, hundreds of people, because I've been to talk to people and ask for their, support. But in fact, almost all people had no idea that this piece of land existed and that it was going to be built on. And then since then, we managed to get a group together at Feed Bristol. We wanted to bring the Horticultural Society together with the Crafting Society or community, and just share knowledge and skills. And that initial meeting was in the Roundhouse at Feed Bristol, and it was it was a really nice event actually. We ought to send a pair of gloves as a Christmas present to each of the council members and the planning officer, and also George Ferguson, the mayor of Bristol. Just to highlight, and with a little bit of information about the Bluefingers project, which was set up, and our concerns really. If you look at the agricultural map, then the prime quality land is coloured a sort of deep turquoise blue. So the idea is that we've knit sort of a green glove with a blue finger or crochet. We actually ended up with crochet because we felt the crocheting would be the easiest option. And also it was the time of year, so it was winter, and its connotations, the horticulturists use their hands, and so gloves seemed quite an appropriate thing to do. And also it was something people could wear out and about. So a useful item, but one that might stimulate conversation, because people might think, well, why have you got just one blue finger on one of your gloves? And therefore spread the word about the importance of this land.